In Venezuela.
It's a country about the size of Idaho, and it's one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere.
Earlier this year, eye surgeons from central Pennsylvania traveled to Guyana to respond to a desperate need. They went on a world blindness outreach mission to restore vision to those blinded by eye disease. In a third world country, blindness means helplessness.
And then the whole place I look at sheer smoke. I can't do nothing I can do myself. I can't work, I can't eat grass, I can't park, I can't do nothing. If you can't do nothing for yourself, you is a living dead man.
Bastio Orlal drank poison, hoping to kill himself. He doesn't want to live if he can't see. A fellow patient understands.
When you're blind, nobody don't want to look after you. They lose patience with you. They don't want to take you around to the toilet, to the yard, to feed you. They get fed up.
Bastio is just one of the many doctors will help on their week-long visit. Fox 43's Diane Harrigan shows us more.
The overwhelming task begins inside this 100-year-old hospital in New Amsterdam. Here, Dr. Albert Alley and his medical team arrange a temporary operating room. But before they can even unpack, patients arrive.
I don't know what we can do if we get back mistake.
People like Bastio Orlal. This rice farmer is one of many people blinded by cataracts.
Good morning, how are you doing?
Oh, thank you.
Early on, the doctors realize the caseload ahead.
Can you see how many fingers I'm holding up?
We don't see cataracts like this back home because obviously people get operated on much earlier.
But here, where medical care is scarce, some of these people haven't been able to see for years.
Capsulotomy needle.
Okay, here goes.
So the older a cataract gets, the harder it becomes. It's almost like a piece of stone.
Dr. Alley removes the natural lens, replacing it with one made of plastic.
I think tomorrow this patient should notice a significant improvement.
Is there another patient ready?
But for every lucky patient like Bastio, there are literally hundreds more waiting in line for their chance to see the American doctors. Every day they gather outside of the eye clinic, hoping and praying for a chance to get inside.
They said, told us to wait, that the doctor gonna look after you more later.
They clutch tickets, a pass to simply be screened.
There's many obstacles that they face. First off is the cost. The surgery here, if they go to a private doctor, costs a great deal of money.
So Alley and his team operate for free.
The pupil in the center.
Less than 24 hours after undergoing surgery, Bastio Orlal sees the color of his pajamas.
Blue.
For the doctors, it's humbling and rewarding.
But the President God and good work of Dr. Ali.
He'll now be able to be independent, to do maybe even do a little work if he chooses.
It's a humanitarian mission that they say defines why they chose medicine in the first place.
The group World Blindness Outreach has embarked on these missions for a decade. The doctors pay for much of the trips out of their own pockets. They do it for a number of reasons, as Dr. Albert Alley from Lebanon will tell you himself.
The surgery here, if they go to a private doctor, costs a great deal of money, many hundreds of dollars. And the patient themselves cannot afford to have it done. If they cannot see a private doctor in the area, and again, I think there's only one private doctor in the area, then they can take a chance on going to the city and having it done through the state healthcare system. But there's such a big backlog there that many of the patients are frustrated by it and don't even attempt to go there.
Why are there so many with eye disease? Despite the intense sunshine in this tropical country, most natives do not wear sunglasses. This stimulates cataract growth. Dr. Wade Wyatt from Hummelstown was about to go into private practice when he took time out to help Dr. Alley on this trip to Guyana. He says this will not be a one-time thing for him.
If you can help a handful of people, you're making a huge difference, you know, and then you just take it one day at a time. And, you know, Dr. Alley's a great example. I mean, I definitely want to make this a part of my practice.
When we come back, the doctors find themselves working under rather primitive conditions in Guyana. We'll see how they cope and find out more about what drives them to be a part of this mission of hope. As word spreads about the American doctors and nurses, more and more people want help, and in some cases, they will travel 50 or more miles to wait in line. Vihari Andrani is 74 years old. She is number 19. She has cataracts.
No, this one don't see at all.
She has waited more than 3 years for help. She'll wait a little longer.
They don't know what to do because there's not an established procedure down here.
Celis Moore also wants eye surgery. She is 22 years old.
I mean, the other eye's NLP. I mean, what do you have to lose?
We really don't have anything to lose with her.
Doctors debate whether they should take her. They suspect her problem is too severe.
The iris is stuck to the lens, which indicates that it's more than just a simple cataract. Because that cataract is so dense,
How did that
it cannot see the back layer of the eye, the retina, to determine if there's a disease there.
They decide to give it a try.
But our feeling was she basically has no vision now at all. All she can distinguish is light and dark. And we're going to at least give her a chance.
The problem is complicated.
Because we've made a clear opening so light can enter the retina.
Celis' eye does have congenital diseases. Dr. Ali has done all he can. At the least, Celis should have better light perception.
I must tell you, I was disappointed because she's a young lady, she's 22, and nothing would have pleased me or all of us involved in this project more than to be able to restore her vision.
There are no fancy operating rooms here. It's not what the Central Pennsylvania doctors are used to back home. To sterilize a tray, they set it on fire. Still, there are plenty of success stories. Diane Harrigan has more.
I think your picture will come out very nicely. That's it. Very good. That's fine.
Paul Dunkelberger prepares patients for the big day.
The right eye.
They can hardly wait for surgery, a chance to have their cataracts removed and the gift of sight restored. Across the room, other patients are about to see results.
Oh boy, doesn't she look good? Can you see my nose?
Yes, everything.
You sit up for me. You sit up. She was totally blind, and she had already lost the left eye. She had an operation.
Berthel Batson took a big gamble to have the other eye fixed.
Oh, doctor, thank you.
Now she sees for the first time in 2 years.
Thank you.
What it means to the people when we come here, they just have so much faith that we're going to be able to help them. Okay?
For 5 days, 3 surgeons from central Pennsylvania work 13-hour days in a small operating room in Guyana.
All finished. Everything went fine.
You have to be able to use what you have and do the best that you can with it.
As you look around the hospital, you can see just how primitive conditions are. This aging water tank was pretty much just left here to rot. As you can see, the pipe is no longer hooked up, meaning there's no running water inside the hospital.
So they make do with what they have, bringing water in. Workers try to repair the pipes. The doctors know what they're getting into before they arrive.
You can't come to a place like this and sit there and start getting irritated and arrogant and annoyed that this isn't here and that isn't here and oh my God, look at it. You know, you say, okay, this is what we have to work with. We're going to do the best that we can.
It's a long way from York for Dr. Denise Visco.
The people back home don't have the hardship that these people have here.
In this third world country, many live in poverty, even without running water in their homes. Here the pace is slow, yet people are happy with the simple things.
It's not stressful in the way it is in America. You know, it seems like I'm always pressed for time there to go for here or go there. Here it's just, I'm doing what I've been trained to do that I love to do.
Fantastic.
Like making life easier for Berthel.
Annie?
This former school teacher goes home to her family with a new lease on life.
Right now.
I'm playing with you and I never used to see you, I could see what you look like.
Embracing a cousin's baby she's never seen before.
That is wonderful, wonderful.
I'm tired, but very, very happy, you know. I mean, that's the way you feel, is just exhausted, but also very, very satisfied.
Soon, another patient will turn to the doctors for help.
You have a lot to look forward to.
And a new day of challenges will begin.
At the end of the day, the doctors would often reflect on their experience in the operating room. Here's what Dr. Denise Visco of York shared with our news team one afternoon about the conditions she worked under.
We have water that's poured over our hands, an antiseptic that we put on our hands in between cases. I've worn the same scrubs, you know, for every case, which you know, we wear the same scrubs for cases back in the United States, but we gown in a separate gown for surgical cases.
The Guyanese nurses were in shock when they saw all of the supplies the Americans brought with them.
All the girls are just looking at us when we first came here. We get a new hat every day, we get a new mask every day, we get new shoe covers, and the girls here are like, oh, why are you throwing that away? They keep everything, they sterilize everything that they can, and they want to take our gloves and wash them down and re-sterilize them and use them again.
While the medical team was operating on patients, across town there was another mission taking place to fit children and other people in the nearby villages with eyeglasses.
But a lot of kids have whispered in my ear, are you really, really, really going to send me these glasses where I really see? And then I said, yes, you know, a couple weeks from now you'll start getting boxes of glasses and the schools will distribute them back to you and you will see. Many of the children don't want to go to school because they can't see and they can't participate, then the other children make fun of them and that makes them feel bad, so they don't attend.
As you can imagine, this humanitarian mission can take an emotional toll. Not only is there tremendous gratitude from the natives, there is some danger. More when we return.
In the ensuing days, the World Blindness Outreach team members continue to take as many patients as they can, sometimes working around tremendous obstacles. As the line of people outside the clinic grows, Guyanese police stall the check-in procedures. There has been a bomb threat. Police make their search of the grounds and the clinic. Eventually, police declare the area safe. Through it all, the team keeps operating. Time is precious. They know they can't possibly attend to everyone who wants help.
We have several hundred people for surgery, and we're only going to be able to do about half that number.
And half of the job on each person.
We only have enough supplies and equipment and the time to operate on the one eye of patients who are totally blind.
They do a variety of surgeries. Many are cataract removal.
We're going to give you an injection just under the eye.
They numb the eye and strap on a pink ball.
That softens the eye and helps the anesthetic spread evenly behind the eye.
Then the patient is ready for surgery. First, they prop open the eye.
This one goes here.
Doctors dye the eye green to better see the cataract. Although the dye is something they brought from the U.S., it is not something they use in surgeries in America.
Just the Vanessa scissor.
In fact, the way they are performing surgery here is nothing like they do it at home. This is a primitive method. Here they make a large cut in the eye rather than a tiny one. They slide the entire damaged lens with the cataract out in one piece rather than suctioning it out in small bits. Then they slide in the replacement artificial lens. A large incision means they must stitch the eye.
All finished, everything went fine.
As soon as one patient is finished, another goes in. This child needs more than the average surgery.
We will have to operate on both eyes because if we just did one eye, I don't think we would get enough correction to keep her straight.
Her operation requires 2 surgeons.
This is quite disfiguring to this young lady, and I think by straightening the eye at this age certainly will make a major improvement in her life.
The disfigured children stir the most emotion in the doctors and nurses. Diane Harrigan has more on C. Moody's operation.
Look at Mommy's nose, huh?
Dr. Albert Alley examines a 3-year-old girl whose eyes are crossed.
We're going to adjust the muscle on the inside of both eyes for her.
The child is scared but comforted.
Mommy's just outside. Mommy's just outside, okay?
For the doctors trained in America, surgery is not difficult.
This will be nice for her. It will make life easier for her.
What's hard is seeing the conditions children live in here in Guyana and knowing that some are disfigured.
I have 3 little girls at home, and you know, to see her and know that she was having trouble at school because her eyes were crossed broke my heart.
A little boy comes in with premature cataracts.
See the lens right there?
Doctors operate.
I see it around the edges.
All seems to be going well, but then, once he's out of surgery, things take a frightening turn.
It was a very trying time. The baby's heart stopped and required resuscitation. and it took about 10 minutes to reestablish the heartbeat.
Dr. Albert Alley lets a mother know that her son's heart is beating again. These are the hard moments.
Well, I feel very emotionally drained with the whole experience, and I think as I get home, I'll reflect on it and realize what a successful mission it was, but I wish we could have done more.
In 5 days, this medical team helped 70 patients, but not everyone got through the door.
Here comes the fun stuff.
Nora Gerson now has the tough job of turning people away.
Excuse me. They're not going to be doing any more surgery today. I wish I could help you, ma'am. We just have no more time. I wish we had another week, but then I guess we'd have the same thing at the end of that week.
This Penn State medical student made friends.
Have you ever had a Nutri-Grain bar? Do you want to try one?
She leaves here a different person than when she arrived.
Oh, these are good.
And she's not the only one.
Gonna go home. Gonna go back to my wonderful family. You know, I'm so fortunate, everything that I have. And these people are gonna be here, and hopefully their lives will be a little better. But, you know, it's a rough way to live.
It's so sad. We take so much for granted as Americans, and I feel horrible.
In a country devastated by poverty and poor medical care, they did the best they could for as long as their supplies and time would hold out. A little girl can now see straight, and it's those faces of joy, they say, that made the trip well worth the effort.
Before the team members packed up to go home, they gave a gift to the medical professionals in Guyana. When we return, we'll find out what that was, and we'll hear their thoughts on what they've accomplished. Before the Central Pennsylvania doctors and nurses came home, they wanted to leave something for the Guyanese nurses who helped them.
They had special T-shirts made with poems written on the backs. Every nurse received one. The words sum up the purpose of their humanitarian mission.
World Blindness Outreach. There are those on this earth who are just as we might be, but they live in this world in despair and poverty.
Through birth or through misfortune, they have lost their sense of sight. They can feel the sun's warm rays, but cannot see its light.
Their lives can be made better with modern technology, which we have and should know that is our responsibility.
Our good fortune we must share, and with our knowledge we must teach.
This is the hopeful mission of the World Blindness Outreach. Like I said, it's beautiful, and you know, I don't know who MJG is, who wrote it, but you know, this just means everything to me.
Dr. Albert Alley headed this mission and found the trip humbling and rewarding. Every time he heads out on a mission, he has a different crew. He praised this team for its professionalism and compassion.
We had we had people that were skilled in not only assisting in surgery, but doing A scans and keratometry. Also, we had people we had doctors here who would help do the pre-op and the post-op evaluations. So it was a very, very competent group of people. And not only were they competent, but they had a marvelous spirit.
Spirit is precisely what motivates ordinary people to do extraordinary things. The medical team members gave of their time because they felt an obligation to give back to others. Guyana is an experience they say they will remember for the rest of their lives.
Probably the neatest aspect of it is meeting the people, you know, in their culture and understanding where they come from and trying to piece together what their lives must be like.
The work is so important and there's such a need for it that I feel energized.
They're just so happy to receive that little bit that we're giving. You know, to me, it's just a little bit that I'm giving, and to them, it's the world.
When you go outside or it's bright, you will wear these sunglasses.
Yes, thanks. And the doctors.
Now we can see.
Thanks to Dr. Ali.
Just wish we could do more.
We had times where we wanted to do more, but we didn't have the time, and we had to send patients home who needed surgery done.
But now the word is out. We have hundreds of people showing up.
You know, when we leave here, the word's just getting out, and there's going to be hundreds of people standing in line tomorrow thinking that we're still here.
I have a hard time saying no to anybody. I've just never seen so much misery in my life.
If you can help a handful of people, you're making a huge difference.
They can go home and they can see the sun, or they can see shadows, or they may be good enough to see their daughter's face or granddaughter's face.
Oh, God bless the doctor. His name is Dr. Ali. Oh, God, when he pulled the thing out from my eye this morning, and oh, God, just shout for joy. Oh, thank you, Father.
When she knew we were coming, she saw this as her one opportunity to change her life.
I couldn't see you. I used to keep you for your mommy and play with you, and I never used to see you. Now I could see what you look like.
You're helping people, and you know that you're doing things to help and not necessarily to not get sued. You know what I mean? There's a big difference between the two. You know that when I leave here, I will have made a difference in their lives. You know, and that's what's so rewarding. Even if it's just the ability to see faces again, you know. I mean, that's why I went into medicine. You know?
Thanks be to God and to Dr. Ali. When you go back again, tell him how much I'm grateful.
The group World Blindness Outreach takes several of these trips each year.
Sponsored in large part by the Rotary Club,
is a cooperative effort of the Rotary Club of East York, the Rotary Club of Lebanon, the Rotary Club of New Amsterdam, Guyana, and the World Blindness Outreach Incorporated. Also, funding was provided from Rotary District 7390 with a matching grant from the Rotary Foundation.